Welcome back.
So, folks, if you're not already, please take your seat and get comfortable and enjoy yourselves. So this meeting of Brooklyn Community Board 14 is called to order on this Monday, September 9th, 2024 at 7 p.m. under the applicable statutes of New York State, the Charter of New York City, and the board's bylaws and Robert's Rules of Order. So the board's policy is to encourage detailed public discussion of matters before the board at our committee meetings and at public hearings. So consequently, except by board members, there will be no public discussion at our regular monthly meeting of matters about which a public hearing or committee meeting has been held. Specific service delivery requests or complaints should be brought to the attention of the district office's staff by calling the board office during regular business hours or by visiting our website anytime. Other matters of civic interest may be brought before the board during our scheduled public comment period, which will begin tonight after all other business on the board's monthly meeting agenda has been concluded. Please, no partisan political appeals or advertising of for-profit enterprises will be heard. Persons wishing to speak during the public comment period were asked to pre-register. So, Secretary, good evening. Could you please call the roll?
Oh, we need your mic, please.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Wahil Hamed, Carissa Alfonso, Gregory Alvarez, Hindi Bendel, Benjamin Bendet, Davina Bolanot, Christopher Bromson, Joanne Brown, Ed Sen,
Present.
Carl Henry Cesar,
Present.
Florencia Changajita, present. Yvette Claire-Jean, Stephen D. Cohen, Elizabeth Dennis, Derek Donald, Sabina Dorville, Joseph Dweck, Hatem El Gamasi, Gerald Gray, Suzanne Argette, Lee Harmon, Musa Hassoun, William Hattar, Mordecai Husarski, Nautica Johnson, Eric Phillips Jones, Shahid Khan, Alex Lesman, Naomi Lipnick, Donald Loggins, Sasha Maslewski, Melissa Minnick, Ephraim Nierenberg, Eric Ost,
Present.
Ornella Parker, Nora Pena, or Pina, Nora, Susan Phillip, Zvi Plotzker, Barden Persant, Bazaruhi, Nina Sabgir, Joel Siegel, Gail L. Smith, Tova Zenberg, Abraham Treff, Deborah Valentin,
Here.
Dawn Marie Walker, Kendall Washington, Glenn Wallen. Glenn?
He's not here.
Cora?
So, Ms. Secretary, do we have quorum? Thank you very much. So next up, we have the district manager's report.
Hi, good evening, everybody, and welcome back from me, too. Hope you all had a good summer. I know a lot of you had a good summer because we approved 48 street events in July and August. So thank you to those community members who put those events together to gather communities, to celebrate community, to celebrate each other, community elders. And thanks to Detective Nuzzi for working on getting those SAPO permits in place. I appreciate that collaboration. And there's still several events coming up. So attend your block parties and those of your neighbors, and I'll see you all at the Flatbush Frolic, which is on the 22nd of September on Cortelyou Road. And many good times ahead, including, you're going to hear more about this, and I don't want to steal thunder, but including our own reception on September 19th that will be here, and we're going to recognize some of our partners in the community and celebrate together. And because of the work of some of your board members, maybe learn a little bit about one another. It's going to be fun. See you there, too. The district office hosted an SYEP employee this summer, and she was great. Sorry you didn't get to meet her, but Moza Nabu did a great job, worked on a few projects for us, and now she's off to SUNY Stony Brook, where I'm sure she will do remarkably well. Smart young woman. Sarah Skla and Florencia Changajeda participated in the Commission on Human Rights Resource Fair at Hillel Plaza, where a lot of good contacts were made. So more of that, please. And you will be hearing more about this in a minute, too, but the fiscal year 26 budget round has begun. We held our own public hearing, and then Friday, colleagues and I met with 6 agencies. There's 2 more days of 6 agencies each to go, but I want to thank the community and board members for weighing in on budget requests, adding insight, asking provocative questions. I brought some of them to our city agencies already, and it's very helpful. I think that we will have some pretty meaningful and district needs-driven budget priorities this year. And just so that Carl isn't the only one making sports references, I do want to note the Detroit Lions won last night. Thank you very much.
Everyone got jokes at the start of the year. No, they did win. That's true. So before we go, it's true, right? Hey, it's true. It's true. Before we get to the chair's reports, there are several people who are here whom I'd like to acknowledge. And so from the 70th Precinct, we have Deputy Inspector Mackey. So thank you very much. We have Nuzzi. We also have Joseph. So thank you very much. From the Brooklyn DA's office, we have Lulu. So Nancy Lulu, right? And then we have from Councilwoman Rita Joseph's office, we have Brian Grady. So thank you very much, Brian, for being here. From Councilwoman Farrah Lewis's office, we have Avraham Malachowski. So thank you very much as well. And then also we have from Assemblymember Carroll's office, we have Mary Kay Siri. So thank you folks as well. And we also have Izzy from Anna Vernicoff's office and Taisha Allen as well. So folks, thank you very much for coming. Yeah, and so Deputy Inspector Mackey, up to you. Would you like to say a few words? Or okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So I would like to start off first by just making some acknowledgments. Sean Campbell, Ed Powell, and everyone on the dais for your support and your partnership. We cannot possibly do it without you. cannot, would not. Policing and community is it's a partnership. It's a collaboration. We cannot possibly do it without you, your support, your eyes and ears, your involvement. And I'm very proud when I say I have the 7-0 precinct as a command because of the involvement of the community. It is a very community-involved precinct. So if there's anyone I left out, please forgive me. But I just wanted to extend those acknowledgments first and foremost. Scott, did I forget anyone? Did I forget anyone in the acknowledgments? Okay. All right. Most of all, before I get into the crime, I would like to shout out and acknowledge my team at the 7-0 precinct, who is absolutely phenomenal and is the best in the city. And you see two of them right there. Mike Joseph, Scott Nuzzi, and the 180 or so other officers that you don't see, but they're out there in the field working morning, noon, and night to keep everyone here safe. So I just wanted to say that. 7-0 precinct, welcome back from everyone. I'm sure I've had a very nice summer vacations. We're back in September, and we've had, I have to say, the 7-0 precinct has had a banner year so far, to date, a banner year. We're only 94 versus 86% for the 28-day period in crime. That's a very slight increase, 9.3%. For the greater part of the summer, we were winning 28-day periods with some very, very slight increases in areas such as grand larceny autos and burglaries, which we have effectively suppressed. Our 28-day numbers, I'll go through them: 10 versus 8 robberies, 33 versus 21 felony assaults. We are seeing a spike in felony assaults that particularly were, unfortunately, several days before the festivities leading up to the West Indian Day Parade. Not connected to Juve or West Indian Day Parade whatsoever. But it was an anomaly, a blip on the radar. 12 versus 13 burglaries, 31 versus 30 grand larcenies, which I'm going to talk about very shortly, 8 versus 12 grand larceny autos, which I'm also going to talk about very briefly. Year to date, 925 versus 878 major index crimes, so we're up slightly, 5.4%. Our most notable increases are in robberies, 132 versus 107 for the year, and grand larceny autos, 105 versus 75 for the year, which is a 40% increase. 37 guns removed from the street this year in the 7-0 precinct. A lot of that work has to do with intelligence, field intelligence. We bring in a lot of arrests, and we are up in arrests for every single category of major crimes for 2024 to counteract the increases I've told you about. But every time we bring in an arrestee, whether they're could be someone who just did a retail theft, all the way up onto robbery and the more serious crimes, they get debriefed by our field intelligence team, which is absolutely amazing, led by our Sergeant Duran from the Intelligence Bureau. And that has led to a large portion of those 37 guns being recovered, which, in my opinion, is 37 potential tragedies averted. With that, despite one homicide that occurred on July 4th, that we have an identified perpetrator for at 2124 Dorchester Road, right outside. We have not experienced an act of violence this summer in the 7-0 precinct, and that's a testament to not only the work of my team at the 7-0 precinct, but the partnership and the collaboration we have with you, the community. So. Also have a couple of other, additional things I want to talk about. Insofar as, what we do behind the scenes, some of it that you see, some of it you don't see. The stuff that you do see, I've been setting up a lot of vehicle checkpoints. And, one thing that these vehicle checkpoints do, among reminding people of, to be safe, safe when they drive, and issuing enforcement when necessary, is deterring acts of vehicle theft, particularly mopeds. We saw later this spring, earlier this summer, a rise in moped thefts. A lot involving delivery persons, just out there trying to make a buck, trying to survive. Out there making a delivery at a location, and when they come back, their scooters are gone. So their mopeds have been removed. These things are very easy to steal, and I'm going to get into the vehicles as well. But these checkpoints, I fervently believe, have gone a long way in deterring these types of crimes, because, as I said, we've made, although we're up in the year, we've made some tremendous gains in the last 28 and 56 days with that as a result of these vehicle checkpoints. Also, 8 derelict vehicles towed this past 28-day period due to all as a result of community complaints, complaints from people like you in this very room who, you want to park your vehicle when you get home from work, you're looking for a parking spot and you can't park your vehicle because there is a derelict vehicle that's been parked there for weeks and weeks. Moped seizures, there are mopeds and motorcycles out there, as we know, that are being driven recklessly, unscrupulously on our streets. All right, 28 of those being seized in the last 28-day period. So again, each of those seizures that is effective, they're either determine true owner or arrest evidence. They're not getting them back. They're going to the NYPD auto pound, and they're getting crushed. All right, and that's one less moped or motorcycle out there that could potentially cause harm to one of you or one of your neighbors or friends or relatives. Just to close, I like to talk about the crime prevention, crime reduction aspect of it. So, I have 178 cops out there. They're working hard. They're all working hard, but they can only do so much. A lot of crime prevention really rests with you and what you can do to not make yourselves be a victim. Potentially, so I said we talk about vehicles. So vehicles, which is another arm of our fight against grand larceny autos. I talked about the motorcycles and the mopeds. These vehicles, all right, the newer vehicles, the perpetrators they're leveraging technology to take these vehicles. So if you have basically any vehicle that has the modern technology, with the Mazdas they call it the Sky Actives, they have the internal computers. All right, every single car that basically was built in the last 20 or 30 years. And as we know, they've gotten more technologically advanced across the years. They have a port typically underneath the driver's side steering column, right? It's a 16-pin port, all right? Particularly with the higher end vehicles, the late model BMWs, Mercedes-Benzes, the high end stuff, all right? The perpetrators are basically plugging their scanners, right? Scanners that really should only be used by auto mechanics. They're plugging them into these ports, and from that port, they can get a multitude of vehicle data, particularly the code to your key, the code to your electronic key. So one thing, I did some research that we're recommending to people is they sell a lock that goes over these ports. They retail for about $30. They made out $30 to $80 depending on where you buy them from. You can buy them online. They're either made out of resin or the more expensive ones are made out of metal. But what they're designed to do is to defeat someone from taking your vehicle, breaking your window, or somehow getting your door open late at night and getting your vehicle code information, producing a key to take your vehicle. So that's one thing we recommend. some of these steals, unfortunately, are coming right from driveways. So, it's just a word of caution. It can happen anywhere. Whether your car is just parked for 5 minutes on an avenue and you're leaving it unattended and unlocked, which we've seen earlier this year. Fortunately, we haven't seen too many of those recently. Or parking it in your driveway at night or on the street at night. As far as grand larcenies, and these are the types of grand larcenies that unless we can tie some, or our financial crimes detectives who work in another unit can tie to some kind of a ring, theft ring, or unless we pick someone up, then they have credit cards, multiple credit cards in them that don't belong to them, that shouldn't be in their possession, that belong to other people. This is what we suggest you do to get around the grand larcenies. If you don't have direct deposit, if you do anything, if you don't have direct deposit at work for your job, for your paycheck, please get direct deposit. All right, it really is the best thing since sliced bread. It costs you nothing, and it really, it eliminates the paper. And when I talk about eliminating the paper, what I mean is it prevents a check from being income check from being stolen in the mail. All right. With that, we've also seen checks being stolen out of mail. All right. Checks, money orders intended for, intended for people that, they get mailed to and they get intercepted. So, highly recommend either direct deposit for your own personal paychecks, or if you're paying someone, we recommend you do not send a check in the mail. If you do have to send a check in the mail, I highly recommend you get it registered, return receipt requested to the post office. It's an extra step, but it is really a protective measure to make sure that the check doesn't get stolen. On the street, cell phones, that's the #1 targeted device by perpetrators, has been for years, still is this year. I am the most guilty of it. I have 2 of them, and one of them is my bat phone, and I have to have it on me, 24 hours a day. That having been said, subways, public areas, bus stops, on the street, if you don't, unless it's a dire emergency, don't show that phone. All right, because I read all the crime reports, and all the crime reports start as person had their phone out, or person displayed their phone in some other fashion, and the opportunist took advantage. That translates to robberies, all right? Unfortunately, we have seen a spike in robberies this year, across the year, all right? A lot of them take the form of forcible robberies. We have different types of robberies, going all the way up to knife point, gunpoint. Fortunately, most of ours are by force or threat. Best thing you do, don't flash your property. Don't flash your valuables in public. If the person does confront you and does demand your property, never, and this is for your personal safety, always do what they say. Give them the property that they're looking for. That property can be replaced. You cannot be. So with that, we've also seen the opportunists' valuables being left in vehicles, because they know valuables are being left in vehicles all the time. So another challenge that we have this year is auto brakes. If you have a car, don't leave anything valuable in it. We have seen everything disappear, from cash. We had someone with $3,000 in cash inside their car stolen. I don't know what would possess someone in this day and age to have $3,000 in cash inside their car, but it happened. The most common thing we see is credit cards. Really, the most common thing we see is credit cards. Debit cards, credit cards. It's not a good idea, even if it's for convenience sake. I promise I'll be short. I'll be done quickly. I don't want to bore everyone, but I really have to get this out. Don't let yourself be a victim. We had someone with cash taken out of the car over the weekend. They had a Tesla. Those cars have the cameras, right? If you have a Tesla, I highly recommend you keep those cameras. There's a way to shut the cameras off to preserve power, because I know that power is very valuable with the plug-in cars, the hybrid cars, the electric cars, but I would highly recommend if you have one of those cars to leave that active, because in the event that it happens, be a pretty invaluable piece of evidence to have that on camera. That's all I have. Anybody have any questions for me? Anything? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that very important update, Deputy Inspector Mackey. And so I'd also like to recognize some other folks in the room. We have, excuse me, sorry about that. We also have Britt Bird from Borough President Reynoso's office. So thank you very much for coming, Britt. And we also have Orlando Ross from Representative Yvette Clark's office. So thank you very much for coming as well. And so that brings us to the chair's report. And so, folks, good evening and welcome back. I hope this summer treated you well and that you are recharged and reinvigorated. So whether you are a sports head like me or you're a non-sports head, the bottom line is after our part in the latest City of Yes zoning text amendment, we all needed a break. So I hope we all got it. For those who celebrate Milad al-Nabi, I hope you do so well. And for those who celebrate Mabon, may it be a joyous celebration. September is also a National Hispanic Heritage Month, so I take this time to thank this community for its contributions to our society. And for folks who hold this community dear, I hope that you have a vibrant month of celebration. September is also National Recovery Month. So for those who are either struggling with substance abuse or know someone who is, I am wishing you and that individual the support and strength required to conquer that fight over the long haul, because it is a long haul. That's the truth. And so the first thing I want to remind folks of is that the CB14 annual reception will take place on Thursday, September 19th, here at the East Midwood Jewish Center from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So if you haven't already, please RSVP. The second thing I want to tell folks is a recap of the Committee of the Whole report, City of Yes Housing Opportunity Public Hearing. So the recommendations as submitted to DCP, and for folks who don't know, that's the Department of City Planning, these were provided to all board members prior to this meeting. Does anyone have any questions about the recommendations that were submitted, or do I have a motion to ratify the recommendations that came from the Committee of the Whole?
It does need ratification at the following meeting.
Thank you for that. And so do I have questions or a motion to ratify the recommendations? Okay. Thank you. So all those in favor of ratifying the recommendations that came from the Committee of the Whole meeting?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right. We have abstention. And do we have any folks ineligible to vote? Okay, so we got one abstention. Okay, so the motion carries. So thank you very much. So the next item is, do I have a motion to dissolve the Committee of the Whole? Excellent. And so all those in favor of dissolving the Committee of the Whole? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Any ineligible? Okay, so the motion carries. So folks, thank you for those points of order. So real talk, the City of Yes is extremely excruciating. It is a group effort that tests our patience, our empathy, our respect and faith in each other and in government. It is extremely excruciating, painful work because on a truly Leviathan scale, we have to critically balance our individual needs as people and board members with those of the 160,000 or so folks who live in Community District 14 and are not in the room, point blank. So did everyone get what they wanted? Nope. Did everyone get what they needed? Nope, part two. Will there be other items down the line that will test our patience, empathy, respect, and faith? Absolutely. But despite all that, guess what though? It's precisely because of this difficulty that I want to thank every single board member, every district office staff member, every resident, and anyone else who put their hands in the dirt and wrestles with City of Yes. Because every time you do so, you are choosing to engage. And more importantly, for me personally, I feel like we are choosing to engage to do this together. And so this isn't really like a golf clap moment, but I'm just saying out loud that this is brutally hard. And I want to thank every single person here and the people who are not here who still wrestled with this stuff, right? Because this is what the moment required, and it was big, but in some way, shape, or form, we tried to meet the moment. So I want to thank every single person for that. Okay. Okay, got you. And then we also have Councilwoman Farrah Lewis who came in, so thank you very much for joining us. Actually, I don't know, so I'll do it after this part. So next up is on Thursday, September 5th, at the Community Board 14 District Office, public hearing was held. So the purpose of this hearing was to hear public testimony with respect to community recommendations for the city's fiscal year 2026 capital and expense budget. So very high level, the timeline is as follows. Early September, we had the public hearing. There will be another public hearing held in October. We will ratify recommendations in November and then submit those recommendations to the Office of Management and Budget and the Department of City Planning, AKA OMB and DCP. We will receive the city agency responses in the winter, and then the community board will reply to those city agencies to their responses sometime in the winter and the spring. And so after the public hearing took place, the executive committee meeting took place. So there were 3 areas on the agenda: board meetings and hearing practices, committee meeting practices, and board member responsibilities on the board and in the community. So in the first piece, board meeting and hearing practices, the following items were discussed. This year, Community Board 14, following the same processes as last year in regards to hearing items from the Office of Cannabis Management, State Liquor Authority, Open Dining, Land Use, Landmarks Preservation Committee, and also the Department of City Planning. Issues were raised with the Office of Cannabis Management's process placing excessive burden on communities to vet proposed locations and applicants. It was also noted several times that as some of the City of Yes zoning text amendments go into effect, we'll need to see how those changes impact some of the hearings that will come before us, right? And then in terms of the minority report, I remind folks that in the June 2024 board meeting, I said no to a minority report ask that had been raised during our June 11th City of Yes Housing Opportunity public hearing meeting. And at that board meeting, I had said no because I felt that the June 11th public hearing and the forthcoming discussion at the June board meeting provided space for board members to share their viewpoints. And I also felt that those viewpoints were considered when recommendations were proposed and ultimately voted on. And so after much thought, I still feel the same way. So therefore, for this item, I maintain my June decision that a minority report is not necessary for Community Board 14. And so these were the items that were discussed within the board meetings and hearings practice of the executive committee meeting. For the second piece regarding committee meeting practices, the following items were covered. In June, I met with the legal committee and we discussed how we would operate in 2024 to 2025, AKA this year, given the open meetings law revisions as part of the adopted state budget. After much discussion, we will operate this year the same as last year. So what that means is the general board meetings and public hearings will be in person, committee meetings will be virtual. And we are keeping this structure because board meetings and public hearings are the venues in which official board action is taken. And official board action means making recommendations and voting on said recommendations. So the other thing too was thanking folks who serve and will serve as community co-chairs because it's a lot of work on top of what you already do. And so giving those folks their flowers, the ones who have done it before and then the ones who will be doing it this year. And also just friendly reminders that per our bylaws, committees are supposed to meet a minimum of 3 times a year. As a committee member, you're expected to attend your committee meetings. If you can't, just let your co-chairs know. And then that you can also attend as many committee meetings as you'd like outside of that. And another item that popped up too was, and it was a very good discussion, it was what are some ways that we can reinvigorate the purpose of committees and also build stronger bonds between board members. So then the last piece and the board member responsibilities, the following items were covered. So during the summer, a situation was brought to the attention of the district office that was potentially in violation of one of our bylaws, specifically 3.b.e. And so that specific bylaw, 3.b.e, it states that any appointed board member making a public statement, including on social media, shall not claim to represent the board's position unless designated to do so by the chairperson or the executive committee. And then bylaws 3.b.2 and 4, they give the board the authority to remove a board member for certain reasons, and violating bylaw 3.b.e is one of them. And so what this bylaw means basically is if you tweet, post, TikTok, speak, write a letter, whatever you do about a matter before the board, just make it super duper crystal clear that you're speaking as an individual. So that's what this means. So this is not about you have something that you're passionate about and you're stating your opinion about it. That's not it, right? It's just that if this is a specific item before the board, just make it super duper clear that you are speaking as an individual. And so some example is, let's say like I were to testify at a city council hearing on something that I cared about that came before the board, then I would just say, I am Carl, while I am chairperson of CB14, I'm speaking as an individual, not a board member. And that's it, right? And so just to reiterate again, the point is not that expressing your individual point is the issue. That's not it, right? It's that expressing your point in such a way that it could be interpreted as speaking for the board when I or the board didn't explicitly tell you to do so. That's where the issue is. And so those were the things that we covered within the executive committee meeting that came after the public hearing that all took place on Thursday, September 5th. So in terms of committee appointments, folks received their committee assignments for this year. We tried our best to give you your first or your second choice. Any questions, don't hesitate, to let the district office know, okay? And then for the part that I know everyone loves, the Brooklyn Borough Board Report. So the September Brooklyn Borough Board meeting took place on Tuesday, September 3rd. Some key agenda items were the following: community boards, the City of Yes Housing Opportunity Vote, and Vital Parks. So with respect to community boards, Borough President Reynoso mentioned that he is trying to get community boards to be recognized as independent agencies that play a larger role in the city. He said that he had submitted such an interpretation to the City Law Department. The City Law Department didn't agree with that interpretation, so it looks like that's an ongoing conversation. This matters because a thread that came directly out of this was, how independent can community boards be when the budget hasn't increased in at least a decade? So then at this point, Reynoso mentioned two things. He said it may be possible for community boards to get additional funding through city council members. The key thing he stressed was that, in his opinion, community boards need to advocate just like other groups do for a budget increase. So he said if community boards show up on the City Hall steps demanding funding, he will be there with them. And as it turns out, Councilmember Ressler was there as well. And he said that as a former community board member, he loves and respects what community boards do. So with respect to the City of Yes Housing Opportunity Vote, a Brooklyn Borough Board vote had to occur in the September meeting because a vote did not take place in May or June. And also we did not meet during the summer. So I said that Community Board 14 had voted yes with conditions. So therefore, would I be able to vote the same in this vote, or would it be a hard yes or no? So I was informed that the vote would be a hard yes or no with the ability to add amendments afterward, right? So at that point, a motion was made and seconded for Brooklyn Borough Board to vote no on City of Yes Housing Opportunity, because doing so would then make the Department of City Planning look at each community board's recommendations. That motion passed. And then the final piece that came in for the Brooklyn Borough Board report from September 3rd, it was respect to Vital Parks. So the Parks Department presented on their Vital Parks initiative. Summarizing some of the language, I'm repeating verbatim some of the language on their materials, right? But basically, it says that it's their attempt to protect existing park facilities, equitably deliver new park resources to underserved communities, and equip New Yorkers with information to enjoy, celebrate, and support their parks. The bottom line, I urge all of you to visit, and I'm going to speak the URL out like I'm a fool, but I am, https://nyc.gov/vital parks. I bet if you just Google NYC Vital Parks or whatever your search engine is, you'll find it, right? But Yeah, exactly, right? But the bottom line is there is truly a smorgasbord of info in this tool, and Parks wants community feedback on what looks good, what looks wrong, and what is missing. And so if there's anything you catch from this, because I've been speaking at you for like 17 minutes straight, Google, Baidu, DuckDuckGo, whatever your search engine is, put in New York City vital parks, and we can do that too, right? We got it all for all of you. Look that up because there's a ton of info. They say they want to hear from folks. So this is a great way to see what they have and call out the things they're missing or be like, oh, now I have more info so I can ask better questions, okay? And that ends the chair's report. Okay. And so Councilwoman Farrah-Lewis, thank you for coming. Would you like to address the group at all? Oh.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Happy Monday. Okay. Happy Monday. I'm Councilmember Farrah-Lewis, representing Council District 45. I didn't get to do this earlier, but congratulations, Chair Cesar, on your appointment to chair. Let's give him a round of applause one more time. Greetings to the whole board and District Manager Campbell. I won't be before you all too long, but Avraham is here from my office, so he'll speak later on. I was just at the funeral for Denzel Chan, 25-year-old that was shot during the West Indian Carnival event and then succumbed to his injuries. They were starting late, so I said, let me run here and then I'll run back. So if you could please keep that family in your prayers as they prepare to bury him tomorrow. Tonight's the funeral, tomorrow is the homegoing service for him. Just wanted to quickly mention that we hosted a City of Yes info session at PS 152 315. I'm not sure who was there. It was quite the event. It got a little hot and heated, but in the end, we were able to get information from the agency DCP. We'll be hosting a series of info sessions around the district. I just chose to take this initiative on my own and not wait for the mayor's office or for the agency to share the information with the community. So we started with Midwood Kensington first, and then we'll be heading over to East Flatbush the end of this month, hosting something at Marine Park, Flatlands, and then the areas that we picked up in Canarsie during redistricting in early 2023. So if you missed out on the one for Midwood Kensington, I do believe that we have more paperwork and presentations that we could share with you all. If you don't mind going to another neighborhood, we'll share that information with you, and Avraham could provide that information later. But just want to let you know that we would just want to inform you on what's happening with City of Yes for Housing Opportunity. I did vote no against the last two. We did put in conditions, and I thank this community board for being savvy enough to fight back with the administration and work collectively to put in conditions. I've heard of other districts that put in conditions and they were not adhered to in the end. So it's very important for us to work together to ensure that if City of Yes of Housing Opportunity passes, that the mayor actually does his due diligence to add in what we're asking for. Also wanted to quickly share that we will be voting this Thursday on the Corporation Council. The person that's up, his name is Randy Maestro. It's a very controversial vote for the City Council. I was actually out on sick leave for the last 4 weeks. Well, at least I tried to be, but people still pull me out the house. I had recently had fibroid surgery and tried my best to stay on bed rest, but now that I'm back, we're preparing for that very important vote. So stay tuned. If you need the link in order to watch the stated meeting this Thursday, we are more than happy to share it with you. While this is a very controversial vote, it's a very important vote. This is the entity, the attorney, that would work both with the mayor and the city council in order to push bills that govern your lives. So this is very important for you to just keep yourself abreast to what's happening at City Hall. I know sometimes this information is boring, but it does impact you. So I just want to share that. We're also voting on a package of reparations. I have one of the bills, that's one of the leading bills. No, I'm not forcing the city of New York to give money to Black people. The reparations bill that I'm pushing is just to put together a task force to start the conversation on what this could look like, and hope you all are okay with that, just regarding conversations. Also, this fall, we're just focusing on making sure our streets remain clean. We know that the mayor's office did cut a lot of agencies, especially DSNY, when it comes to MLP services and a few others, like the greenways. You might see the weeds are growing yay high, probably taller than us. So our focus right now is just to make sure to keep our streets clean. So if you see extra sanitation trucks out there, or maybe staff and myself and volunteers out there with weed whackers, we're trying to keep the streets clean. So that is going to be our focus for this fall. Also, we know that folks are sending in applications for sidewalk cafes for licenses. I am going to be very critical of those sidewalk cafe applications, only because there's some folks that did not adhere to the previous policy, and I'll be working directly with the community board just to make sure that we're all on the same page about who wants sidewalk licenses. So look forward to supporting any businesses that are focusing on that. And then we have been working proactively with the sheriff's office to close illegal smoke shops, and those particularly giving out products that are harmful and hazardous to our residents. We have a couple of young people where we found rat poisoning, bleach, and ammonia in the products that were sold in illegal smoke shops. So now those folks, sometimes you see them on the street and engaging in what you call zombieism. And it's not on purpose. It's not because they had a mental health issue. It's because they basically purchased products that caused them to now have these impacts. So that was our focus for the last couple of months. I want to thank Avraham, Daniel, and Sabrina from my office for proactively helping with that. And I just want to say best wishes to all those that will be observing the high holidays, Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah. All the best to you all and your family. Hope everybody had a good first day of school, a great summer. We're going to have a great fall. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for giving us the updates of all the work your office is doing, Councilwoman Lewis, and welcome back. So a silly note, I forgot the minutes. So we are going to go over the minutes that were sent before. And so board members should have received the minutes. And so were there any changes received via email for the minutes?
We're not.
Okay, so now my next question is, are there any changes from the floor in regards to the minutes? Okay, so seeing none, do I have a motion to adopt the minutes? Okay, so all those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Anyone ineligible? So the motion carries. So. Yes, and so I also would like to acknowledge that we have Ed Powell, President of the 70th Precinct Community Council. So Ed, thank you very much for making your way here. And so this brings us to the topical committees. And so I will be reading in order. And so first up, we have Community Safety Committee, followed by the Housing and the Land Use Committee. And we will go with the the co-chairs who are listed for this year.
There might be no report from Community Safety.
Okay, cool. And then any report from Housing and Land Use or not? Okay, cool.
Hello, welcome back. Welcome to our new committee members. Looking forward to working with you.
Yes, hello, Greg Alvarez, co-chair.
Joanne Brown. I just have a quick announcement. On Tuesday, September 24th, there will be a public hearing on the demapping application for New York Community Hospital, and that will occur at the CB District Office at 810 East 16th Street, and the time is 6:30 p.m., September 24th. The application by New York Community Hospital, Brooklyn Incorporated, involving the elimination and discontinuation of closing a portion of Avenue O between Bedford Avenue and Kings Highway in Community District 14 to facilitate the construction of a new infectious disease isolation unit. And that's all the report.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, co-chairs. So next up, we have Human Services Committee, followed by Transportation Committee. And so the co-chairs of Human Services Committee, if you have an announcement, then please make your way.
Hi, I'm Nina Sabgir. Most of you know me from several years being here. And
Hi, everyone. I'm Yvette Clear-Jean.
so I would just first of all like to really, really give kudos to all of the people who worked last year on the Lunch and Learn program. And I don't know if we have any stats on how many people were able to tune into that, but my hope this year is that we will continue this kind of program to better the health of people in the community. Some things personally I'd like to see are, last year there was a lot of focus on diabetes. I think maybe this year some focus on hypertensive disorders and maybe women's health or preventive health in general, since those are my great loves. Anything you want to?
I'd like to welcome all new committee members who are new to the board, and we look forward to working with everyone that's part of our committee. Thank you.
Thank you very much, co-chairs for Human Services. So next up, the co-chairs of the Transportation Committee.
Hi, everyone. I'm a co-chair of Transportation. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Musa.
Hi, my name is Deborah Valentine, and I'm a co-chair of Transportation.
We don't have any substantive update, but we are working on a meeting in early October that we hope you all join. I think, as the district office knows, one of my main focuses, or our main focuses, as co-chairs, is pushing the DOT or the MTA or different agencies to actually deliver on the things that they've kind of talked to us about, so they know that I'm constantly going after them. And so hopefully we'll have a hearing at some point in October about some of the issues that they presented on the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, co-chairs. And so next up, we have Committee Environment, Cultural Affairs, and Economic Development, followed by Youth Services, Education, and Libraries.
Hey folks, welcome back. Ed Sen here, co-chair, along with Joel. Just a quick update for our committee meeting. It's going to be taking place Monday, September 30th, 6:30 online via WebEx. We have 2 agenda items. An update from the founder and CEO of I Am Caribbean, and also a community presentation in support of the Flatbush Flatbush Development Corporation. So just be there, tune in.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Ornella Parker. I'm one of the co-chairs for Youth Service, Education, and Libraries. It's a long one. And Eric is also a co-chair. Before we jump into our meeting and our agenda items, we wanted to say welcome back to everyone, but a special welcome to our committee members. And I'm going to say their names because we get shout outs on this team. Carissa, Derek, Sabina, Susan, and Sasha, welcome to the Youth Service Committee. Woo woo.
See those hands. Where are you guys?
Okay.
All right. Well, this is very exciting because we will also see you on Zoom next. It's WebEx. It's on WebEx. Don't go to Zoom. On Monday, September 16th. That's next Monday at 6:30 on Zoom on WebEx. Sorry. The first thing on our agenda will be a report for programs and services provided by ACS in the Family Assessment Program. That's Ivalisa Black-Taylor. She is the Director of Outreach and Community Engagement. Agenda item 2.
Yep. Our second agenda item for that meeting is going to be a presentation on opportunities from our community partnership by our Neighborhood Advisory Board for CB14. So come on out and hear about that.
And yes, we have 3 agenda items. The third presentation is new, added, we found out about it today, Brooklyn College's strategic plan. So we'll have a representative from Brooklyn College from President Anderson's office. So come next Monday. Just something that we spoke about at the executive committee. You do not need to be a member, obviously, of our committee to attend. You do not need to be a board member. So if you're here, and you're just a member of community, you can, of course, attend any of these subcommittee meetings. This is where the action happens, and a lot of it gets reported out to these main meetings, which feels a lot like presentations. So if you're watching or if you're here, anyone can come to any of these subcommittee meetings, and we encourage you to do so. Lastly, I think I saw Jay from Cortelu. So you're going to have an update about the libraries later? So we got Jay, too. So libraries in there.
Yep.
I think that's it.
And then again, that is Monday. And one more plug, we shouted out our committee members, but just like Eric said, you don't have to be a committee member to be there. So you too could get a shout out next time if you show up on Monday. Whoop, whoop.
We're not done with shout outs. Councilmember Lewis left, but I just got a mailer that some of the participatory budget requests that went in the fall, and it took a long time, and I know Abraham, I was bugging him all year, but they just came out, and for at least for district, Councilwoman's district, which is a school that I'm in, millions of dollars of capital, improvements to our schools, including millions of dollars for Midwood, and I mean several million, almost $8 million. And so I just want to thank the member's office and the community that voted on these things to improve our schools in the district. And so wonderful principals like Ornella and others have the resources that they need. So thank you, everybody.
So Ornella, don't go anywhere too fast because you're right up again. Because the next report is from our ad hoc committee, the transition committee.
I know, right? Hi, everyone. My name is Ornella again. I am the co-chair for the ad hoc transition committee along with
Joanne Brown.
And we do not have an update. We just want y'all to see our faces and know our names. That's all.
We are working to have a meeting in October. We hope to see you all there.
So folks, as always, I'd like to give a round of applause for Wayne Rosenfeld and the East Midwood Jewish Center for hosting our meeting. And also to Mark Moss for live streaming this meeting as well. So thank you very much. We couldn't do this without you, so thank you so much. And so we are now entering the public comment period. And so board members are expected to remain for the public comment period. Speakers can sign up for time with either Patricia or Sarah in the back of the room up until the beginning of the public comment period. Matters of civic interest and announcements of public events are invited. Please, just a friendly reminder, no partisan political appeals or advertising of for-profit enterprises are permitted. Each speaker will be permitted to speak for up to 3 minutes and may not receive additional time from another speaker. Speakers are directed to address the assembly from the front of the room. At the conclusion of the 3-minute period, each speaker must return to their seat. The board has an obligation to conduct its business in an orderly manner, so if it turns out that someone is preventing the meeting from continuing, that individual may be asked to leave. And accordingly, speaking time will be assigned first to speakers from different groups, then to speakers addressing different issues, and finally, time permitting, to additional speakers on an issue from a single group. So it is now 7:58 p.m. The first speaker will be Mary Kay Siri, followed by Orlando Ross.
Hello, everyone. We have a big fall, a lot of things going on. So the first thing is starting September 23rd, we're going to be giving away 1,100 free daffodil bulbs. So if you have spots in your at your front yard or your place of business or your school, come see us. We're going to do it as first come, first serve. If you're just a private citizen, you get like a dozen or two, but if you're a school or a business, we'll give you more. So come on down. That's starting September 23rd. Let's see, next, on Wednesday, October 9th, we have a Department of Sanitation shredding truck that's going to be in front of the Assembly Member's office. All of this is at the Assembly Member's office, which is 416 7th Avenue in Park Slope. So the sanitation truck from 9 to 2, and then we have appointments with the New York City Department of Finance. You can make a 15-minute one-on-one appointment with a Department of Finance representative and call our office. We have like 8 or 10 left, so they're booking fast. Then on Wednesday, October 30th, we have the MetroCard van coming, which is always popular, and we have the Department of Buildings coming, and again, those are 15-minute appointments. You can make one-on-one appointments with the Department of Building representative. And then on Tuesday, November 19th, we have the mammogram bus coming. Free mammograms for women between 40 and 70, must reside in New York City and not have had a mammogram in the last 12 months. So hope to see you guys.
Hello, everyone. Congratulations, Chair Caesar, for your appointment. My name is Orlando Ross. I work with Congresswoman Yvette Clarke. Welcoming everyone back from your summer vacation. We had quite a few events that happened in the 9th Congressional District. How many people know about the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act, that was actually passed? It's billions of dollars that are coming to New York. New York came in number 3 out of all the states in the United States, and we had an amazing virtual event. In case you have missed it, you can go to Congresswoman Yvette Clarke on her YouTube channel, on her Facebook channel, and on her X channel. And we had Senator Parker, we had Sandy Nurse, we had League of Conservation Voters, we also had NYSERDA. NYSERDA spoke about the Empower Plus program. These are benefits that you can get, that you can save energy costs in your own home. Most of the people that did come out were homeowners. If you need more information on that, I will let you know on the side. In addition to that, we want to also sound the clarion alarm for our seniors or people in high school, our middle school students. App Challenge is now open. And if you know anyone that's in middle school or in high school, the date to apply is going to be October 26th. In order to encourage our young people to be in part of a STEM education, we are also going to be doing our first hackathon, and that will be at Medgar Evers College. I will have more information. I will be sending it to the chair and to the young people, the group over here. I'll make sure that you guys got that information. The last thing I want to say is that everyone needs a job, and jobs are a big issue. Economic empowerment is key in the 9th Congressional District. So we will be partnering with Assemblywoman Forrest, with Zelnor Mari, Senator Mari, and Assemblymember Brian Cunningham to do a Central Brooklyn job fair, and that would be at Major Owens Recreation Center. It will be on September 17th, I believe. And if you need any information, before you can come to this event, you must register because we have limited space. So it will be a federal, it will be state, and it will be city jobs. Anyone looking for a job, if you know anyone that needs a job, this is the time, because you know they're hiring at this time as well, and we want to make sure that our people are empowered with economic wealth. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, folks, very much. And so the next two speakers, we have Keisha, is it Barella or Barella? Barella, thank you very much, sorry about that. And then followed by Tamara Maxwell.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Keisha Barella. I'm here representing Fort Greene Council. Just a little bit about Fort Greene Council. Fort Greene Council was started in 1973 by Dr. Sam Pinn, Ed Carter, and and de Gaulle. We were incorporated in 1974, and our mission is to serve the underprivileged communities in Brooklyn, mainly older adults and younger generations. The programs that we offer everything from case management, dance classes, French classes, anything we can think of, we try to offer to our older adults. They create a community that is beautiful to see, honestly. Many of our older adults tend to stay at home as they grow older, and I wish more people knew about programs like this because they create a community for each other that is beautiful to see. If one of them doesn't come to the club one day and I don't have a chance to check on them, they're already, oh, Miss Keisha, I already checked on Miss Mary. She just went to Florida for the week. So they check on each other, they create programs with each other, and we just want to invite you all to come see us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Keisha. So yes, next up, Tamara, followed by Britt Bird.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tamara. I'm a facility administrator with DaVita Kidney Care. We provide dialysis treatment to patients in the community that have end-stage renal disease. So we have made the difficult decision to close some of our centers, and we will no longer treat patients at Naomi Dialysis with an official closure date of September 30th. But as of August 27th, all of our patients have been transferred to other dialysis centers within the community. We have worked with each patient to find them a dialysis facility that is not only the DaVita but also a non-DaVita provider. Our social worker has also reviewed the list with our patients, and they have chose to continue their care at another dialysis center in the community. While we've done everything we can to reduce potential concerns, we sincerely regret any inconvenience this may have caused the community. We are completely committed to working with all our patients to support this smooth transition. So if you have any questions, I will be here after the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you for that update.
Hi everyone, I'm Britt Bird. I'm Senior Planner for BP Reynoso. I'm happy to be the liaison for CB14 this year. I live at Cortellian, Westminster, so I'm particularly happy to be attending the community board that I live in. I'm in my day job for the BP's office. I'm a planner, so I work with ULURP stuff. I also reviewed City of Yes, so I welcome any questions or any comments on that front throughout the year. The BP just has a couple announcements. He hopes everyone had a nice Labor Day and that parents and students are having a good back to school this week, and a happy Latino Heritage Month starting next week. The BP had a busy summer. In July, the BP celebrated Disability Pride at Borough Hall. He hosted an Adopt a Shelter event that helped 39 shelter animals find homes, and celebrated Dominican Day by holding a resource fair in Cypress Hills. In August, the BP announced $1.25 million allocation to help Mixteca acquire a permanent home in Sunset Park, and officially broke ground on upgrades to South Brooklyn Health and Hospital's Women's Health Services, which the BP fully funded with $18.5 million allocations in fiscal year 23. The BP also partnered on back-to-school events all over the borough. And then one ongoing thing that we want everyone to know about is the Community Baby Shower Fund. This August, BP Reynoso announced the creation of $50,000 Community Baby Shower Fund. Community baby showers give opportunities for the community to celebrate new and exciting parents, new and expecting parents, distribute supplies, and share information and pre- and postnatal resources to support healthy pregnancies and growing families. Through the fund, eligible Brooklyn nonprofits can apply for up to $5,000 in matching funds to support the cost of non-personnel expenses associated with hosting a community baby shower. More information on how to apply is available on the BP's website. Thanks.
Thank you very much for that update. Always appreciate it. So next up, we have Nancy Lulu, followed by Brian Grady.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well and hope everyone enjoyed their summer. It's great to be here and to see everyone. I would like to extend greetings on behalf of DA Gonzalez to everyone as well. Our office has been extremely busy and very active, not just with prosecuting cases, but also with community events. Last week, we held our 3rd annual Back to School event at Luna Park, where we gave out over 700 school bags and school supplies, and students got to enjoy Luna Park, enjoyed food and music. So it was really great, and thank you to everyone that came out. The Brooklyn DA's office is also hosting a Hispanic Heritage Month event on October 1st from 6 to 8 p.m. at City Tech College. RSVP is required. The address is 285 J Street. Also, as always, if there's anything you would like to address with the DA's office, you could reach out to our Action Center at 718-250-2340. I also would like to extend happy upcoming High Holy holidays. And I want to also welcome all the community board members, or the members. And also, I want to conclude with thanking Community Board 14 for all their outstanding and dedicated work. Thank you so much for everything that you do. It's great to be here.
Hi, good evening. I'm Brian from the Office of Councilmember Rita Joseph. Hope you are all still enjoying this late summer, which continues until September 22nd for those who are counting. Councilmember Joseph sends her regrets. She really wanted to be here this evening, but I know she's been able to meet with a number of you at some of the meetings we've had, particularly over the summer around City of Yes, including the town hall that we had at PS6 back on July 23rd. So we'll be, continuing to have those discussions. I'm working with Roy Sheen right now from Ditmas Park West and trying to coordinate another walkthrough with council land use in Victorian Flatbush, so should be having a date for that soon. Just some events coming up for your calendar. There will be a couple of street tree events, speaking of Ditmas Park West. So we're going to be co-sponsoring that with them, along with the Department of Youth and Community Development and Big Reuse. Those are going to be on Saturday, September 15th, and on Sunday, September 29th. If those are of interest to you, I've got some flyers in the back. I know that Ditmas Park West does an incredible job of planting and maintaining their street trees, so I'm sure that'll be a wonderful event. Coming up soon, we'll have the New York Legal Assistance Group back in the district on Tuesday, September 17th to meet with folks about any housing and benefits questions that they might have. Still have some slots available for that. So, grab a flyer or give me a call or just, grab me after the meeting if you want to sign up for one of those appointments. We will also be having the breast cancer, the mammogram bus in the district at Morris Heights Health Center at 1095 Flatbush Avenue. That's going to be on Wednesday, October 2nd. And the contact information, again, is on the flyer in the back if you'd like to attend that event. And then just some additional flyers in the back about our usual resources for housing and immigration services with Flatbush Development Corporation and Churches United for Fair Housing coming to our office every Wednesday and Thursday for housing services, and CUNY Citizenship assisting with immigration concerns by appointment. For anything else, any city concerns or any concerns in the community, you can always feel free to come to our office at 930 Flatbush Avenue, Monday through Thursday from 10 to 5, or give us a call at 718-287-8762. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that info, Brian. And so is Anthony Gay here from State Senator Myrie's office? Okay, so not seeing an individual. Next up, we have Abraham Malachowski. And then we have Becky, is it Baumwall? Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Avraham. I'm representing Councilmember Farrah Lewis, who was just here a little while ago. I'd like to begin by welcoming everybody back, and I hope that everyone enjoyed their summer. A couple of people were saying it went a bit quick for our liking, but we're here, so may as well enjoy it. This summer has been an incredibly productive one for District 45, so I'd like to share some of the highlights. In partnership with other elected officials, local leaders, and corporate sponsors, Councilmember Lewis successfully distributed thousands of backpacks to the community. We extend our thanks to all of the elected officials and all of the community partners who made this endeavor possible. Additionally, our office hosted representatives from Brooklyn Legal Corporation A, who provided much-needed legal assistance to constituents. Last week, we distributed over 150 rain barrels to the community. Thanks to this contribution, residents will be able to maintain their gardens in a more environmentally sustainable manner. The council member is working on a street co-naming for Pastor Arceli Courtney, who was the first lady and pastor of Emmanuel Church of God, who was tragically taken from us recently. This initiative is in conjunction with Councilmember Joseph, and we thank her for her support. Finally, the council member co-sponsored and attended the African Pop-Up Festival, the African Restaurant Pop-Up Festival. This event allowed the community to celebrate its heritage and partake in a fun and lively jollof contest. TLC also joined our office to assist 120 constituents in renewing their TLC licenses. We thank them for their partnership, and just one upcoming event I'd like to announce, which is HPD on the Go, will be happening on October 15th in front of the FDC office building, which is 1616 Newkirk Avenue. So you have any questions regarding regulations of houses, violations, etc., that's the place that you should be. As always, our office is located 1434 Flatbush Avenue, and you can reach us by calling us at 718-629-2900. We offer help finding housing, we offer help with immigration, we offer help with anything city-related that you may have, and I will be hanging around afterwards if anyone has any miscellaneous questions. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to another great year with Community Board 14. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Becky Baumwall. Nice to meet you. I'm a neighbor. I live up the street, about 20-minute walk on Ocean. I've been coming to some of these board meetings, and it's a pleasure to now say hello, so I'm not an anonymous stranger. I run an performing arts and education nonprofit that I founded back in 2011. We're called Broken Box Mime. We do a modern version of mime, creating performance without language and beyond language barriers, so we perform all around the city and the country. And we're also in like a dozen schools. Last year, I think, was 16, directly through the arts office and sometimes directly with schools, teaching kids about body language and embodied social emotional learning. And so when I moved here, so did the legal address of Broken Box Mime. It was 2 years ago, but I don't want it to just be a legal address. I would love to meet people in the community who we could partner with. For example, we have a show for little kids about climate change that is also about the big feelings that come up around change of any kind. We're doing it in early October for free in the park. It's fully funded. I would love to add a performance in this district if anyone knows of a park that would be a good fit or any other place like that. So please say hello to me. Our website is brokenboxmime.com. And I'm Becky. Thanks.
Thank you much for sharing. Thank you. So next up, we have Jay Taubman, followed by Taisha Allen.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I'm Jay Taubman. I'm the Assistant Branch Manager at the Cortelyou branch of the Brooklyn Public Library. I'm going to be presenting some programs and other events at my branch and also at the Midwood branch. Both branches are in the Flatbush area. So first I want to cover, we are grateful to the City of New York and to our council members, Rita Joseph and Farrah Lewis and other council members who worked very hard with the lobbying and hearings and other efforts that were involved to restore the money. There was a threat that Sunday service was going to be taken away, and even Saturday service will be taken away. I am glad to say that there is going to be Saturday service at all branches. The only branch that doesn't currently have it is Borough Park, and they're going to get that soon. And we're going to have we already have Sunday service that was restored in July and August at several branches, including Midwood, and I think at the Central Library, Kings Highway, and several other branches. Also, I'm just going to mention, we have at the Cortelyou branch coming up a 6-series session of Ready Set Kindergarten starting in October. And it's going to go from October 19th to November 23rd. It's every Saturday at 11 a.m. from October 19th to November 23rd. The flyers are going to be in the back so you could see it. Also, we're going to have a series of events. We're going to have an African dance group coming up on September 20th at 3:30 p.m. I think that's something that a lot of people would want to see. And also we have Baban Chinese music and dance performance coming on September 18th at 3:30 p.m. to mark Welcome Week. We're also going to be having a series of events, including quiet reading parties to mark Banned Books Week, which is from September the 13th to September 22nd to September 28th. Also for the Midwood branch, they're going to have their own quiet reading party, 6 to 8 p.m. Tuesday, October 8th. So the flyers are going to be in the back. You could see it. And they're going to have CPR and AED training on September 24th, Tuesday at 6 to 7 p.m. And they're going to be having Dr. Bruce Altshuler, a retired professor of political science, will be answering questions from 6 to 7:30 p.m. And also fraud and cybersecurity. So both branches are going to be having events. And in addition, I have a series of calendars. I'm going to put this right after I finish speaking at the back so you'll be able to see it, our Cortelyou branch calendar of events, so you'll be able to catch up with everything that we're doing. And I want to wish everybody happy holidays, happy Miladi Nabi, happy Ma'aban to those of the Muslim faith, and happy Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur to those of the Jewish faith, and happy holidays to any other faiths that I might have accidentally omitted. And also happy Latino Heritage Month as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. All right. So next up we have Taisha Allen, and then I apologize if I mispronounced your name. Is it Farida Odukale? Okay.
Hi, good evening, Community Board 14 Chair and board members. Welcome back. It feels good to be back. Trust you all had a great summer. For me, it went by too fast. Happy belated Labor Day to all former and current workers. Hope you enjoyed the day off. Happy National Hispanic Heritage Month and holy holidays that is coming up. Just for a few quick announcements to which I'm happy to share. We close out the summer celebration with over 40 block parties in the 42nd Assembly District that the Assembly member visited and donated waters and snacks to. We also had several back-to-school events to which collectively distributed 2,000 backpacks to hundreds of children in the community, jumpstarting their education for a successful school year. And in addition to this, with that, the Assembly member was able to donate backpacks to over 10 organizations, equating to a little over 400. Assemblymember Ronnie Bishop-Hermelin is also excited to partner with the Pace University Small Business Development Center, SBDC, to bring free in-person one-on-one business advisory services to Assembly District 42. Through this collaboration, a Pace SBDC business advisor will meet with local small businesses to help with access to financing, marketing and sales strategies, government procurement, and certification programs such as MWBE and business planning. These no-cost sessions will be held at Assemblymember Bishop-Hermelin's office on Thursday, September 26, and must be reserved in advance. Assemblymember Bishop-Hermelin, along with Councilmember Farrah Lewis, will also be co-sponsoring a community workforce event with NYC Department of Design and Construction, Lend Lease and Parks to learn about careers within the field of construction. This event will be held at the Brooklyn College campus on Tuesday, October 1st, between 5 and 8 p.m. Registration is required. The flyer will be circulated electronically. You can also reach out to Assemblymember Rodney Bishop Hermelin's office, located at 1312 Flatbush Avenue between Foster and East 26th Street, or call us at 718-940-0428 to retrieve an appointment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And so, yes, how do I pronounce your name? Farida? Okay, thank you. Apologize for getting it wrong the first time. So next up, we have Farida.
Good evening. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Good evening, everybody. I'm here representing Assemblymember Brian Cunningham. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here today. I just want to talk about like our previous event that office was closed like for basically the whole summer. But we are open back now, and we take appointment for constituent on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. We had the back to school event about 2 weeks ago where we donated backpacks to kids. And we also had the Labor Day parade. I hope you guys were there. Did you guys enjoy that? Good. Upcoming events for this month, we have the job fair on September 17th at the Major Owens Health Center. I hope you all, if you're looking for jobs or if you know anyone that's looking for jobs, that's a place for them to come to. And we also have the back to school event with PS 091 on September 21st at 532 Albany Avenue. And I'm happy to say that we also passed 6 bills in this legislative year. Thank you. I'm going over the upcoming events for the rest of the year. So we have the sanitation bin transition info session on October 9th. The transition happens on November 12th, but we just have the info session on October 9th. We also have the mobile ID event on October 16th. The location will be our district office, 249 Empire Boulevard, 11225, Brooklyn, New York. It would be to get the ID document approval, so I hope to see you guys there as well, and that's...
Thank you very much. And so, give me a second real quick. Okay. So that concludes the public comment period. It is now 8:26 p.m. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? All right then. So folks, if you're a Jets fan, good luck. And for everybody else, have a good night.